Hi coders, CS Time channel here, and this video discuss about how to insert a node in the beginning of Doubly linked list. There are two situations of linked list. The first situation when list is empty, and the second situation when list is not empty. And when you work with linked list operation, you will need two pointers. The first pointer is head pointer, is a pointer to point to the first node, and the second pointer is tail pointer, is a pointer to point to the last node. Now let's see how to insert a node in the beginning of doubly linked list when the list is empty. When the list is empty, both pointers head and tail will point to null. And if you wish to insert a new node like this, pay attention that the new node has two pointers, previous pointers and next pointer, and we wish to insert it here, then you will have to adjust the next pointer belong to the new node to point to the first node pointed by the head, and then adjust the head pointer to point to the new node like this. And then we also need to adjust the tail pointer to point to the new node like this. So the linked list now will look like this. Now let's see how to insert a node in the beginning of doubly linked list when the list is not empty. When the list is not empty, then the linked list will look like this. We have one pointer which is head that point to the first node, and then we have another pointer which is tail that point to the last node. And if you wish to add a new node like this, pay attention, the new node has two pointers, previous pointer and next pointer, and we wish to insert it here, then the first job is to adjust the next pointer belong to the new node to point to the first node pointed by the head like that. And then now we have to adjust the pointer of previous belong to the first node pointed by the head like that. And then now we have to adjust the head pointer to point to the new node like this. Now our linked list will look like this. Let's see the Java implementation. Before we write the method to insert a node in the beginning of doubly linked list that I discussed it in the previous video. So in the previous video, I show you how to declare a node that consists of three parts, which is the data, the two pointers, next, and previous. And then I declare it under list node class. And then I also need two pointers, which is head and tail, that I declare it as the list node. And then I also need one variable that I declare it as integer to count the length of the linked list. And then we initialize the data in the constructor, and we also initialize the pointers in the constructor of doubly linked list. And then we also wrote a method to do display forward, and then we also wrote the code to do display backward. Now we can start writing the code to do the insert first. Here I name it as insert first. It will have one parameter, which is the data itself. Now I create the object for the new node. The data will be taken from here. The first situation is when the linked list is empty. So we need to check if head equal to null, it means our linked list is empty. As I explained in the visualization, the first job is to adjust the new node next pointer to point to the first node pointed by the head. And then after that, we tell the head to point to the new node. And then we tell the tail to point to the new node like this. Else, if it's not empty in the second visualization, it means we will tell that the new node dot next must point to the head, which is the first node pointed by the head, and then head dot previous. So the first node pointer pointed by the head, which is head dot previous, should point to the new node, and then the head point to the new node like that. For efficiency, we can shorten our code. So I will copy this here, because whether it's empty or not, this both will be executed anyway. We don't need it here. Okay. This is more efficient. Once we add our new node, then now we can increase the length. So let's repeat one more time. So In the insert first here, first we create the object for the new node, and then we check whether the linked list is empty. If the linked list is empty, in the visualization we will tell that the new node dot next, which is the pointer, to point to the first node pointed by the head, so equal to head here. And then we tell the head to point to the new node, and then we tell the tail to point to the new node. But when the list is not empty, then the new node dot next will point to the first node pointed by the head, and then the head dot previous, which is the first node pointer previous, will point to the new node, and then the head will point to the new node. As soon as we insert it, then the length will increase by 1. Now we can test the display forward, display backward, as well as insert first. So here I will have to create the object for doubly linked list. So we will call insert first. Now we will insert the first data character. Say I want to insert C here. We will call display forward here. Okay, let's run it. Here is the result. We insert C and then go C here, and then we insert B and then B here, and then we insert A and then A here. Now let's see the display backward. Let's try. For the display forward, we start forwarding, start from A, go to B, go to C. Okay, now the display backward. So we start from C and then B and then A. Here is the result. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe and like for more videos. Thanks for watching.